Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people of all ages, we are back for another episode in the office. Only pod can judge me. Your host, D King. I got my main man to the left.
R to the K, a.k.a. Illogic, a.k.a. Illogic 100. Holla
and my guy to the right.
Come on, you know who it is. It's your boy, Wayne D. Wayne D253, Wayne D the Barber. Come holler at me. Listen here, before we get started, y'all. Hey, man, y'all like, subscribe, share, smash the like button. Give it to your friends. Let us know we out here. We pushing, what was we pushing for, 200? 200 by the end of the month.
That's it.
Let's go.
Man, we got a birthday boy in the house. Somebody turned 21 twice and then a little bit more. Add a little change to it, man.
Yes, sir.
Birthday
Yes,
boy,
sir.
talk to us, man. How was it?
Man, it was cool, man. Birthday season, man. It's been an action-packed weekend, man. You know, it's going down. Virgo season, definitely. Holla at me.
Cool. What you do? What you do?
Man. I mean, we've been doing a whole lot, man. I mean, I did a little bit of shopping, you know what I'm saying, just to get myself right, along with doing a little shopping for my son and whatever, you know what I'm saying, but also hung out, you know, went to the picnic, you know what I'm saying? It was a big time picnic. I wanted to come down and catch you on Saturday, but the picnic kind of got in the way of everything. It was a weird deal, right? Yeah, and I couldn't really roll out of there like I wanted to.
Right.
And then besides that, you know what I'm saying, we hung out, did the church
Reunion.
Church reunion, yeah. You know what I'm saying? It was attended that, which was live, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you had a good time?
Had a good time,
Good,
definitely.
bro.
First time, I never heard of a preacher Rama before. I didn't catch it, but I had never heard of that before.
Yeah, it was like,
that was something new.
It was unique, right?
Yeah.
I enjoyed
I didn't
myself.
see it.
It was real solid. We was
Yeah.
there.
You didn't watch it?
I watched a couple minutes on the screen.
Yeah. You gotta check that out. You gotta tap into that.
Yeah, I was like,
it was kind of inspiring.
Yeah. It was a trip. It was like action packed. But yeah, that's what's up. That's what I did.
What about you, brother?
Solid. Come on, man. You know me, Big Chill, same thing.
You didn't big chill, man. You had a lot going on. It seemed
I
like.
did have a lot going on,
Big chilling
man.
means you ain't doing nothing,
Look,
brother.
I was trying not to do nothing, man. I got me a teenager, man, 15-year-old. Happy birthday! Shout out to DJ. Happy birthday! His birthday's today, actually, man.
Happy birthday, DJ.
15th birthday, man. I love
Nephew.
you, man. Blessings. I pray, like I said, I told you already before how proud I am of you, how important you are to me, how much of a leader you are, man. Just so we just been celebrating him all weekend. Had a pool party on Saturday. Then went bowling on Sunday, and then now we here today.
No, you did something after bowling too, because I kept getting calls about sending me some money.
We went out to eat. Look, we went to a few restaurants, man. Ate good, and then just like chilled. So
yeah, because I got the phone calls like, Dad, send money
Dad,
right
I need
now.
more money. Look,
I'm like, man, I just sent you some money, bro.
Send me more. Look, they was eating down there, bro. Look, you know, Famous Days. Look, it costs.
Yeah, I
big
know.
Penny, so.
I know.
And they ain't small menus no more. Look,
Right.
I try to slide them the kids menu. Like, I need 6 kids menu. They're like, no, we need the big guys menu. I'm like, all right, look, go ahead, say less. So
Man,
we took
that's
everybody
cool, man.
bowling. It was really solid. It had like 4 or 5 lanes, and we just chilled. Yep, it was real good, real cool,
That's
cool. How about
good,
yourself?
man. You know what, man? I had the crossover ended this weekend. It ended with a bang. Shout out to Jamal Crawford for putting on a great event again this summer for the whole state of Washington.
Yeah.
Devin Booker came in and showed love to Seattle and signed autographs, signed jerseys, signed basketballs, and he was in there amongst the people. You know what I'm saying? It's good to see. He's a basketball superstar.
definitely.
He's a basketball superstar. So for him to just come and show love like that, it was good to see the humility side of things.
What kind of game did he have?
He didn't play.
He just
came to hang out.
Came to hang out.
That's
Came
love.
to hang out. And so, and he was just excited. Obviously, we know Drake was in town this weekend, so a lot of people were stopping through for different things. That may not be his reason, but you know what I'm saying. But a lot of people were here based off of that concert. But just for him to show the love, and then it ended yesterday. Isaiah Thomas put on a show. For the town.
IT
from
still
Washington.
got it, man.
51-11 for IT in the championship game. He was making it look real.
Shout out to IT,
real
Big
professional.
G. Come on, King.
For real professional. But yeah, man, that ended. Then we had the reunion of 43 years at the church.
Yeah.
Friday night, Saturday day, Sunday morning, and then Sunday afternoon. I was fortunate enough to be in charge of a program that went really well. You enjoyed yourself, right? You enjoyed yourself too, right? Yes, it was. We try to just put on something to give God the highest praise were to bring everybody back together when all that time frame from the 43 years of growing up. And it was really, really good. Unity Church of God in Christ. It was really, really good. And we also did a backpack giveaway.
That's what's up.
Yeah, I seen that online, man.
So anybody needs some backpacks, I got some in the car right now. I got yours. I got yours.
You got my bundle of 30?
I don't got no bundle of 30. I got whatever you can take this in the car right now.
I got the rest
on the way out. So man, much love.
Big salute. Shout out.
And respect to that, man. But we gonna get into it.
Any bicycles in the back of that thing?
Man, I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. Real talk. There was brand new Huffy and Duffy bikes that was $350 bikes, $400 bikes that were fresh with the tags still on it.
Brand new. Kids didn't even know what to do.
Kids, they came to that park and lost their mind.
Some of them was looking like they didn't want to touch anything. They were so
shy. They was after some kids rode the bikes home from wherever they came from. So I mean, I say honestly, it was about, no exaggeration, if I'm counting correctly, I say it was about 50 bikes.
Yeah.
They were gone within 15 minutes.
I believe it, yeah.
Renee tried to come down there. I was like, you better get here before it's too late. She was trying to get her, them bikes was gone.
Man.
But she was able to get some backpacks though. And like I said, man, we just try to provide something to get the kids ready. There was haircuts that was down there too. Nice. It was a nice thing. So I mean, it was dope, man. And that's the first time I seen them do the bikes, because that was really big time.
Nice way to end the summer, man.
No, for sure, man. And like I said, I mean, it's only gonna get bigger and better as we grow, man. And we just try to be an example as we go into this school season of education is first. Yeah. All them athletes out there, I want you guys to really, if you're taking a look at this, whether it's parents, grandparents, aunties, uncles, nieces and nephews, the most important part of this thing is being a student athlete.
Come on.
Student is the first word.
Yeah.
Knowledge is power. Yeah. We've learned that in a lot of different situations. And like I said, they hide stuff in books from us because we don't like to read. You got to take the time, put the cell phones down, put the YouTube down, and read something sometime. You never know what you'll learn.
Yeah. So
you guys want to expound on that at all? Expound on that?
Man, I'm a big person. I always believe, even if you was, even in my situation when I grew up, doing what I was doing, you still had to go to school and do your thing. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I believe, on the positive side of that, if you're going to be a student athlete or whatever you're going to do, man, pick up a book, man. Just think about some things. Think about the world and how it is now and find out what you want to learn about, man. If you're into math, you know what I'm saying? Dig into some math. Find a mentor. Find a teacher. Find somebody you can talk to and have a conversation about that. But really dig into it. Look at what interests you.
That's
real. If it's music, if you really into beats, then go seek out a music teacher and try to learn about that. But look at what you like besides hoop, you know what I'm saying, or besides football, and dig into it a little bit, man. It's not going to hurt you. A book's not going to bite you. You know what I'm saying?
That's good, RK. Talk to us, D.
And I'm just echoing the same thing. Like, find something that you desire or that you're good at. Me personally, I wasn't a book individual either. I wasn't a reader, but what I did like was sports. And in order for me to know more sports, to know what ERA and what these different words, these different definitions and little things had to be, I had to read about them.
You had to learn about it.
So I had to take time. And something that piqued my interest was sports. So I read a lot of sports magazines. I read a lot of sports books. So I know a ton about sports. That encouraged me to continue to read. And so find something that you enjoy doing. You will see it. It'll just be fun to you. And it'll just come natural. Like you said, even with math, like I loved math. Like math is, I think I went to like calculus and then I got kicked out of my, long story, I got kicked out of my, I think like my fifth grade, I'm fifth grade, my 10th grade. 10th grade. My 10th grade teacher.
Calculus in the 5th grade?
I almost said genius.
Doogie Howser over here.
No, my 11th, first semester of my 11th grade year.
Pick a grade, man.
11th grade.
All right.
11th grade. First semester of my 11th grade year.
First semester.
Because I couldn't take it my
your sophomore year.
I was going to take it my second semester because I got kicked out first semester.
Why'd you get kicked out?
So there's 2 semesters of it that you get.
Why'd you get kicked out?
Yeah, calculus 1, calculus 2.
You got to go so I couldn't go to calculus 2 because I didn't pass the calculus 1, but I got kicked out. So I got kicked out because the teacher was like, solve a problem. And he solved the problem on the board. And I'm like, excuse me, that's not, I know that's wrong. I know in my head, like I started with the person and I'm like, that's wrong. And he was like, okay, if that's wrong, well then you go solve it. So I solved it, bop, 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 bop. And the class was like he's right. But he said the way I did it, I showed him up in front of the whole class.
Do you agree?
I agree that I showed him up.
Looking back on it now?
Looking back on it, I believe that I did show him up, and I was trying to embarrass the teacher, like, oh, I was smart because I really love math. So I was trying to prove that I was smarter than him, but I was right. But the way I went about it, I was like, I was kind of cocky and arrogant about it. But I was right, though.
Yeah,
right.
but you
the answer was right.
Yeah.
The answer that I put on the board was, and he
See
knew I
what
was
I'm
right.
saying?
That's why he booted me out and sent me to the office, and then but like I said, I just enjoyed math, so I found myself continuing to do that. So
it's funny you say that because that's something that I often see now inside the situations that I see these teachers and these students having is that, like you said, that cockiness or that the battle. And you could be confident.
Agree.
Without being cocky, you know what I'm saying?
100%.
And I think
That's
that you know what I'm saying? I think I think they gotta, these kids, you might be sitting there and with the teacher, you thinking the teacher's an old head and he ain't got it no more. But there's we used to have at least my grandmother taught us respect, you know what I mean? Even if you know they wrong, sometimes you can correct them, but it's the way you correct them. Yeah.
Right. So the way I went about it was kind of I would kick myself out too. If I'm this age now and I'm a 60, bro, get out of my class, boy. Go to the office. Yeah. And so then I got kicked out. I couldn't finish the semester, and then I got so I stopped doing math.
You can't always go back home and say the teacher don't like me. Sometimes you be in there, you know what I'm saying?
Talk to him, man, because that's
you know
real.
What I'm saying? I hear that all the time.
All the time.
I agree with it totally. One thing I would add to it, because it was going to take me into our first topic that I want to discuss with you guys, which I think is extremely important, is just the fact of being a father in 2024, 23, 24 coming up in a couple months. Like,
it's crazy that we can say that.
Yeah, it's right around the corner. Man. But give me a perspective of what a father is.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah, give me that perspective of what a father is.
That's good. And it's crazy that you make mention of that because, like I said, we just celebrated DJ's birthday. I would do the hot seat, just infirm or just give encouraging words to DJ over his time. And just over these last 3 months, I have really taken on the role. I used to think of a father was providing because my dad, we moved away from my dad when I was like 5 or 6 years old. So when we moved away from him financially, my grandma and my mom took on that burden. And so there was no extra money for like sneakers. There wasn't extra money for clothes. There wasn't extra money for like birthdays. There wasn't extra money for these things. So I thought as I got older, I would be that father that was a provider. And I thought providing was just working. And I'm crazy that we make mention of this because I was just talking to another individual in the barbershop today about it. So I thought we're just working hard, grinding to make as much money as I can to provide for my children. And that's not just being a father. That's part of it. But I was missing the part of me in quality time, stepping away from the business, stepping away from being able to make the money, and just spending time, just being in their presence. And so these last 3 months, I have really seen why he's my junior. Like DJ really like a spitting image of me, like his behavior, his mannerism. Like I'm like, bro, how do you pick up on all this stuff? But he's been around me often, and I've spent time with him and spent quality time. So that's why I'm seeing these traits. And it being acted out in his life because of I'm just not just being a father, I'm not just being a provider. I'm being there for him at games, at practices.
So you're being a father,
having conversations with him, having tough. And that's just not with DJ. That's just it's his birthday, so I see it. But that's with all of them, And and not only that. Just one more. And not only that, I try to be that same father to individuals who come into the barbershop. So it's not just my kids that I'm being a father to. It's the community that you're being father to, because you don't know how much of a person is looking up to you, whether it be at the job, whether it be at the gym, whether it be at the business, whether it be with the music. It doesn't, also, even on Facebook or social media, there might be a child looking at your profile, looking at things and being inspired by you, like, oh man, that's solid, real cool. So you don't never know who's looking at you. And so that's what I take it as.
That's good. What's your outtake? Just a father in its entirety, because it's a 2-part question that I'll come back to. But just being a father, bro. Like, what is it hard? Is it tough?
I don't think it's tough.
Okay.
I think it's different for boys and girls.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I can't say that. I think that I think the most important aspect of being a father is being a presence. You know what I mean? I think just being there, sometimes, you hear about the bad side of it and all these things is going on with these families that need, that have these situations with child support or whatever. But if the father, if that man is making an attempt to be in that child's life,
let him.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Let him be there. You know what I mean? If he's a positive influence, you know what I'm saying? And he's really, you know, because I know as young men, you know, they gotta have a template to look up to. They gotta have somebody to see, like you said, you're there. Your son sees you there and sees how you carry yourself, and so he carries himself not only for himself but also to make you proud, because that's innate in us. You know what I'm saying? That's why when we grew up without our dad's presence, we were looking for that growing up. Like, what's that template? What's that model that we look at to say who a father is? So that presence. That person that's there, that's giving them that wholesome knowledge and letting them know that they're good enough, that they don't have to be, you know, what everybody else, what the image says they should be, what society says you should be. Gives them the confidence to be on their own 2 feet, to be the person, be the man that they should be, and listen to them when they have a concern. You know, to be a father, to be that role. You know what I mean? It's a tricky place to be in, because you know the way that things are framed out in the world tries to make it seem like we're not necessary, but being around makes it so pivotal. You know what I mean? And we know that our children rely on us, but it's fulfilling to us as men to have those kids with us, because it makes us stand to a higher degree and carry ourselves in a certain way as well.
I like that a lot. Man, is it hard being a father? I would say yes. And the only reason why I say that is because the pressure that the world provides, like fathers are not present.
Yeah.
And me growing up in my life directly, not without my biological, but it was because of death.
Yeah.
And somebody else took the role in doing that. It's pressure, because really in real life, if believe it or not, only men can raise men.
Yeah. I believe it.
And that's just the fact. My wife is amazing.
Yeah.
She's a nurturer. They came from her stomach.
Yeah.
And you can only get them so far, but
But
it goes to a point to where the morals and the values and sometimes the toughness, and when it seems like you're being mean, all that stuff plays a part, because it can go either way sometimes with your kids.
It definitely can.
And the fact of, oh man, my dad's too mean, or he was too militant, or he was too strict. So I say, in my case, I'll say it's hard, but I'm willing to take the challenge. Because I mean, I have 2 boys, and then I have a daughter, so can't raise Eris how I raise Royal and Sire.
Definitely,
I can't do it. It's more delicate. Come here, baby, but you're also going to understand that you're not just going to be patty cake, because at some point in time, a man is going to try to date you, or a boy is going to try to date you, and you got to know the ins and outs. The do's, the don'ts, the wills, the won'ts. And that's something that your mom can tell you, but your dad can teach you, because I am a man. So that when we do go out for a steak dinner, you can't, this is not surprising or alarming because he bought me lobster. That's, my dad does that. Or when it's time to go get the bobo tea, or it's time to go get your nails done, all that stuff. To me, I've been waiting to do that. And like, she's of age now. And I know you've experienced it with your daughters, with you a lot. And like I said, I've always prayed for my daughter to be a daddy's girl, because I want her to understand that even if the man is good, I can still take care of my own self if you decide to step out of line. Does that make sense? And like with my boys, you got to have an example that shows that the person that gets up for work every morning, even when they don't want to, even if everybody stayed up late, dad still got up and he's providing. So just to provide that example, and of course, you guys know my boys are always with me everywhere I go. So it's constant conversation, because I got to learn them too. As they get older, you got to learn them. They go through a lot more different things than we've ever could imagine in school, and the pressure and the social media. I grew up with no social media. Social media was just coming around. Literally, the internet was just a thing in like 1998. You know what I'm saying? That was my senior year in high school. So you got to imagine that. From 94 to 98 arcade, there was no internet. There was no cell phone. If you did have a cell phone, it was a car phone that cost 30 cents a minute. So we didn't have the things to distract us. It was more so you watch TV, or you play sports, or you're on the block, or you're king, which is what, you know what I'm saying? Or you learn a trade like fixing cars. Because the OGs did that. They set the old schools up. You know what I'm saying? Or learning a craft with cutting hair. It wasn't no, man, I can watch YouTube and get the exact answer to what I need right now. You You know, and Nintendo
And or Google the answer of a problem.
Right.
Nah, there was about
right.
30 books in
Ain't
the grandma's living room.
Come on,
you know
come
what I'm
on,
saying?
right.
They'll take out what you wanted and
Right.
look it up in
Right.
Encyclopedia Britannica. You know what I'm saying?
I'm even go as far as I couldn't imagine driving at that time because they literally used maps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They used a map to see where they were going.
Did
like
you ever take a vacation then?
Take out a Thomas Guide.
When,
and fly out
when
the whole
Google,
town.
when Google did come around, or when the internet did come out, you had to print out we took a trip to Indianapolis, and I think it might have been in 02.
Okay.
But we had to print out, and they printed out pages. Take a left at 112, like pages.
Yeah.
Like you could just flip with your
Right,
phone,
right,
like,
right,
oh
right.
man, I'm struggling to the. It was written out pages. Take a left on 183.
Yeah.
You're gonna be like, I'm like, bruh, in order for us to get to Indianapolis,
Right.
it's
That
like
was the
2,000
beginning
miles
of-
away.
that was the beginning.
So there's a whole bunch of
We lived
pages
through
that
it.
you had
Yeah,
to
I
print
remember
off.
that.
We lived through
Before
it.
you, I'm like, bruh, dang.
Think about that. So
And to get back, you're gonna get lost if you don't know.
right.
Yeah.
So think about it. So just here in Washington, in Seattle.
in Washington.
I'm just saying in Seattle. If you were Martin Luther King, you knew that you can go this way.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And the same thing with either Martin Luther King or Rainier. It was two streets that's going to get you to wherever you need to go in Seattle,
Right.
up and down those
If you was
streets.
on one of those, you good.
Right.
If you ain't on one of those,
Now,
Right.
imagine when I was about that age, you know what I'm saying, about 17, I'm living in Los Angeles,
Ooh,
Long Beach
the
at
big
the
city.
time. I'm
The big
living,
city.
I didn't know how to get
the wrong block
anywhere.
you was.
Nowhere.
Oh yeah, so I had to. I'm got pages and pages and pages
Right.
of
Right.
directions to get
Right.
where I gotta go.
Yeah.
And so you got to read that and drive at the same
promise you,
time.
I wasn't
That's
driving.
an accident waiting to happen.
Yeah, don't
Right.
stop at the wrong gas station. You know what I'm saying? It's a wrap. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So,
And I was
yeah.
at that time I was going over to the honey's house, and so I was just like, "What's your address?" And putting the honeys in there. So I'm like, he reading pages just to get to the honey's house on the bicycle. I'm like,
Right,
all right,
right.
look, we didn't know.
They got to be in your
I
neighborhood, dog.
promise you, we talk
Yeah.
15 minutes now. Now that we look at it, like that's 15. That's like a block away. Like 15 minutes down the street is like a block away. Now, like, why? That's cool.
Right.
But just think about that when you was having those kind of papers. 15 minutes away.
Oh, yeah.
Seemed like, bro, that was a clear across town. Like you was going a mile away.
Was that,
like,
let me ask you guys this.
dang.
Was that better in those times because it was more pure and innocent? Or is these times better? Because I even go with like being a parent. So my mom being a parent, she didn't have to deal with the pressure of what her kids are going to do on social media. Never to deal with that. Think about the stuff that people are
didn't
doing.
you grow up in New Holly or whatever?
Holly Park?
Yeah, so you remember how it was going down back then.
Yeah, it was. But
Yeah.
all of the people that I know are my family, so they was probably the people that was doing it.
You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying? So or they knew my family, so it wasn't.
Yeah.
I grew up in an environment where it didn't bother me. I thought that was the norm.
Right.
Yeah.
You know
yeah.
what I'm saying? Because I was in the middle of the
Understood.
pack of the grandchildren,
Right.
so
Yeah.
I had a lot of older
But
cousins.
you got to think about the situation like we were like, because I grew up on the hilltop, and the hilltop area was
Going
like,
down.
when it was going down.
Right.
But do you think this brand of kids nowadays will be able to grow up in the area?
No,
like that? You know what I'm saying?
absolutely not.
Because the
No,
way
man.
it was either
it's
dealing
tough.
with the streets for us,
Right.
and then it's dealing with the social media for them.
So
it's
let's
like,
use it in our situation of only our kids, because only Pod can judge us. Royal and Sire in Holly Park right now, if it was Sire would be like, man, I'm not never going outside.
Yeah, no
You know what I'm
problem.
saying? Royal's
No
like,
problem.
I don't know if it's really cool, Dad. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Could Kay grow up in the Sacramento environment?
Not the kid that I raised now, no.
Right. So that's
Nah.
that's what he's talking about.
Yeah.
Can
Yeah, but-
DJ and Deshaun grow
No way.
right?
No way. The only way they're
And
behaving.
why is that?
But the only way they're gonna grow up in those environments or be in those environments at that age is because of their parents. Like DJ could have lived in that environment only because of his dad. Everyone around him would have known me, so DJ would have got the pass, and he would have been like, "Oh, he's just a hooper.
Yeah,
You
right.
better let little
Yeah.
guys go."
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that's a little homie. That's Dwayne's son. Like
And I gotta,
that's Junior.
And I maybe I'm not giving her enough credit too, because
Okay.
you know, I mean, if we was out there, really out there, like you said, like me sending her out, like I said, the kid that I raised now, sending her out there, it might not have been, it might not have worked. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But then at the same time, you know what I'm saying, if we was raised out there, if we was still out there in the middle of it, all of it,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying, it wouldn't be a problem. We know everybody.
like,
You be
yeah.
around the same folks, you
Right.
know everything that's
Right.
going on. I
Right.
mean, my nieces grew up out there just fine. You know
But
what
it
I'm saying?
seems like, but I even say this, even in the areas that I grew up in, they're different. They're all the way
completely
different.
different.
It's a
Man,
whole
gentrification is
it's a
big
whole
time. Like,
different
running hill
brand.
ain't no. I see
Right.
dogs running down the street now, man. I'm like,
The hood ain't the
you got
hood like
white
it
people
used to
running
be.
dogs, like,
Right,
man,
right.
that would never happen.
But that's not to say these youngsters ain't active.
I agree to that too.
I'm not
Yeah,
saying that either.
there's a
That
whole
too.
lot going on
I
out there.
promise you that.
It just
You're
ain't.
right.
It just ain't out like it used to be.
And-
We was
and
all hanging out outside by the basketball court or wherever.
Yeah.
Now they somewhere in somebody's house on the video.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Doing all
But
that on social
still,
media.
with means and draw quick.
Yeah,
for
with
sure.
no hesitation.
No fighting.
No fighting.
fighting.
No, it's definitely.
Remember,
they're gonna-
do kids slap box nowadays?
No.
No.
I'm like, bro.
Don't the closest thing they do to slap box is that new
shadow,
game. That new
whatever. I'm
game.
like,
Is
bro,
like, they go like this.
Oh, yeah, that
new game.
my son will ask me
That
like
is
you want a
crazy.
shadow box? And I'm like, shadow box? Like I'm like, what are y'all like? Because I think he was asking Sire, like, he was like, Lynn, you want a shadow box? And I'm like, shadow box? Like, I thought they was about to bat. And they started doing a little point thing. I'm like, oh, bro, like that ain't no
Yeah.
boxing, bro. I thought y'all doing like,
No,
No,
that
we used to
ain't-
pull
Look at
out
that, I'm
gloves
like,
when we were younger,
seriously.
man.
That ain't.
Come on,
yeah,
that ain't boxing at all.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I always wanted my kids to have better, and I thought I lived good because my mom made it seem that way. I didn't think I was poor.
Yeah.
I always had. You know what I'm saying? It may not have been everything, but I had name brand stuff, and I never even thought that like I grew up poor until it was later. In the fact, I'm just like I thought that that's the norm.
Yeah.
But when you kind of see like once you go to high school and different friends have big houses and they're driving already,
Driving at
and then, you know, so
16.
you're still catching a bus
Yeah.
to get to school. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And like then you say that there's levels to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then when
Definitely.
you have the friend that does have the car, then you can ride. Then you don't even think about it because it's out of sight, out of mind. They're just happy because they're driving and their friend is riding with them.
I mean, to go to your point, like talking to Kay at one point in time, she was, you know, I mean, this is recently. She was at school and she said, "Oh, your mom and dad, you got a mom and dad at home. You're lucky." Like she didn't even realize, you know, there's a lot of kids out there that don't have that experience.
That's it right there.
I mean, it's a trip because I'm just doing what I'm doing, just trying to survive in this world. But I'm providing those things that you said. Now we have the house and we have given her a car for her birthday and stuff. So you know, I'm pretty sure there's kids that she's growing up with that's looking at her like, oh man,
Right.
you know, she's
Yeah.
some kind like I would have thought back in the day she's a rich kid.
No,
That-
for real.
that's
You know
what
what I'm saying?
That's what I'm
'Cause,
saying.
yeah.
Like once
Oh, no.
when I'm sorry, go ahead.
No,
go ahead.
no. I just wanted to kind of go where you were going.
Yeah,
with.
for sure.
And just I wanted to be that one that provided more for my child that I had. But as I really start to really like dive into that, I think we might be hindering our kids doing that. So
Yeah, definitely.
me, I've started to somewhat kind of tell and wean myself back from that of just giving. You know, now you're of age where even my 10 or my 12-year-old, he'll start working for this stuff. There's no more me just giving it just because I'm your provider. No more. Like you need to prove to me, write me a paper, do something for me. I'm not because I think we're hindering our kids by just giving. So then when they become, and we don't know, well, mine's it's only 15-year-old, but when they become 21-year-olds or 23-years, what's that effect gonna have now? Because we said, oh man, we just want to provide more and give more because we wanted them to not have what we went or not go through what we went, not go through the struggles that we did. But then what is that going to create down the line?
So I look at that in two folds. If I can
No, go ahead.
elaborate
Go
on
ahead.
that. So I'll use this as an example. I'm talking about the aspect of the struggle. Like I never give my kids everything they want, but they will have everything that they need. Sometimes I didn't have the stuff I needed.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Growing up, like I needed a new pair of shoes because the side of them busted because I had wide feet.
Yeah.
So it's never gonna be. I hear where you're coming from, and I'm with you on a degree to that. But like I said, we grew up in some poverty. Like I said, and like my mom got off of welfare and decided to work. You know what I'm saying? She kept us in the church, and I didn't know there was levels until you actually got to middle school and high school.
Yeah.
Because when you see the kids that got the crisscross, or what was it called? The cross colors.
Cross colors.
Croc eyes and
bomber jackets.
yeah, right. And
starter jackets.
like
Bomber
and you have it,
jackets, like,
and you have all of that, and then it takes a while that you can actually get it, but like you see that they have it, or they get money for lunch every day. Not to have to eat the school lunch, but they can buy the extra stuff.
That's used to kill me, right? There'll be kids that like I grew up like that too. You know, it wasn't like we was all the way abject poor, you know what I'm saying?
Right,
but
right,
my
right.
mom, you know, we grew up in the system, you know what I'm saying? Section 8, welfare, you know what I'm saying? So that's what we was at that level.
Yeah.
Then there'd be kids that had all that had the new shoes and had everything, still be coming back to the hood and acting a fool.
Trying, like, bro, like you
going to the store, got money in their pocket, going to the store, stealing, making it hot for everybody else. You know what I'm saying? Just doing all the extra.
That's bringing back memories right now.
One of my cool friends, like I think his dad was like a police chief or did something with the police station, like worked for the police station, and he was out there trying to steal games.
Yeah,
like,
making the block hot, doing all the extra.
Kidding me, like crazy.
I never understood that the wannabes. There's always wannabes.
Yeah,
but like I said, I mean, I agree with you if you just give everything, because my sons understand now that if your room is not clean and the garbage not taken out, if you have something to do, you're not going.
It's a no-go for me, seriously.
And that's like, so even if it's a basketball game, you will be late to that basketball game until the stuff is done. Right. And that's going to be your fault if your coach don't play you.
Right.
Yeah.
Because you didn't handle it. You could have did it the night before.
Right.
Yeah, you could have handled that.
And so that, I understand the principles of it. Like I said, you got a daughter that's in college, like, you're here, everything you instilled is going to have to work. Or there's going to be barbecue or mildew, right? Because she's out there right now on her own, living on the East Coast right now. You know what I'm saying?
But we've had to have that talk with her as well.
Right.
Because of that. Because of those because of that entitlement that this generation has.
That's the word.
Yeah.
That's the word.
Because of that aspect alone, I've had to have conversations with her. And not only me, but me and my wife had to, do some level setting because of the fact that, you've been given, we gave a lot, but like they say, too much is given, much is required.
Agree.
You know what I mean? And I can't say that I'll never say my daughter's a bad kid, but because of that entitlement aspect, there's some things that she got to become aware of.
Agree.
But I think that she has. But I'll take a step further and say she's hearing where we're coming from, and hopefully is starting to understand and change her behavior. You know,
and then just to go a little bit further, the entitlement means. To me, I don't think my kids are entitlement. I think we have been fortunate in situations for us to be able to provide those things for them. So I don't think they feel entitled to having those. I just think when we're just providing, giving, the world says
but it's subconsciously because all of our kids are
agree. No, 100% agree.
When we went to Disneyland, we showed how our kids were entitled. I need to go here right now.
Right.
No, you don't. You need to wait till everybody we're doing with the little kids.
Right.
That's entitlement.
I agree.
Real talk.
I agree.
Real
but then
talk.
at the same time, I think, like I said, is that we have done well for ourselves and being able to provide those.
Yeah.
So at the same time, the world kind of put that in. Or that entitlement on them, and they I agree, like you said,
and they walking in it.
They're walking in the entitlement. I agree. But then also at the same time as us being able to
Dad is cutting hair.
Give.
Dad's cutting hair. They see that water cash.
Right.
Oh, Dad's rich.
Right.
Oh, Dad, can we go to Chick-fil-A?
Right.
Or because they used to be in the shop with him.
Right. Like,
Dad, I didn't see the stack is like this.
Right.
Dad, can we go to this?
Like, we know you got it, bro. We see it. Like, come on, bro.
I used to, because I tell Roy and DJ and them guys, Uncle Dave, can you get this? Can you get this? Man, you guys just ate everything. I just bought all the stuff, and now so you guys want me. I'm not going back to the store again.
Man, seriously.
It's entitlement because I need more.
Because they're not hearing no enough.
Right. You're right. And I'm guilty.
That's where
I'm guilty.
Right.
Yeah. And I got to be better with that.
I will say, I have started the process, and that's why I'm sharing with you. I don't know if one of yours is gone, but your one coming up. At least you can start.
Right.
You know, at least install it at
because Eris, she don't understand.
I promise you. That's exactly what I was gonna say with Drew. Like Drew don't care. Like he knows. That boy is so smart. He knows you got it. Like even if you don't got it, he knows. Like some way somehow we getting that. Like,
right.
I'm like, dang, bro.
Right.
Why are you so smart?
And then you kind of feel bad a little bit, like when you don't do it. So it's like.
And you thinking like, oh man, I provided it for the older one down a little bit. I'm like, look, I am setting down.
We're weak. We're weak.
Yeah.
Well, I'm starting now. I'm letting y'all know. Look, I'm starting now. I'm telling no. Like I tell DJ all the time, no, look, bro, we ain't getting it. Write me a paper. Do something for me. Let me know why you need it.
Yeah,
if you let me know why you need it, we're good. We're getting it.
That's
if
good.
I know you don't need it and you want it, you better let me know why you want it.
That's good.
So if you don't let me know why you want it,
I like that, man.
Yeah.
Hey.
Ain't no way you should have 30 pair of shoes and you only wear and they hoop shoes and you only wore them 3 times in 3 games. Like, there ain't no way.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Ain't no way,
that's
right?
Ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
I promise you.
Yeah. I'm talking Happy Meals.
You talking about like he getting
Dad, I want to supersize my Happy Meal. Just here, you're not supersizing Happy Meal. Right. Eris literally thinks every time we go get the fast food, and let's keep in mind.
Lobster.
No, every time we get the fast food, she got to try to get a vanilla shake.
Yeah.
No. Get the apple juice that comes with it.
Yeah, they gonna try you.
Right.
And they gonna say it like it's a part of the order.
Right. So we're all dealing with it.
Right.
I'm telling you, I go to Jack in the Box, and if everybody gets something, that's $70.
Yes.
Oh yeah, easy.
I'm like, what happened to the dollar menu?
No, those don't exist. I don't even know if burgers are even $1 anything.
No, they're not.
Even the what they call the mini menu or the little value menu. But everything on value menu is like $2.19, $2.29. Like,
right.
Yeah, ain't no dollar.
Ain't no dollar.
This is the world we live in, huh?
Yeah.
Which brings me to our next topic that I want to talk about, you guys. And this is something that kind of shifting, but this drug called fentanyl.
Jeez.
Oh man.
It is running rampant all over the country. They are leaving people standing up, awake, but they're not moving in 95-degree weather. Yeah. Can you guys expound on anything of any research, anything that you've experienced that with this drug? I say to everybody, stop.
Yeah.
That's bigger than you. Stop. Honestly, it's not okay. Fellas?
Man, you know, it's a sickness, it's an illness out here, man. It's terrible.
Yeah.
And it's like a thing, when you're dealing with manufacturing things, you know what I'm saying? They have quality control. With this fentanyl, there is no quality control.
Right.
So whoever gets that bottom of the batch gets that lethal dose, and they're pretty much happy to do that to people. They don't care about that happening to anybody.
Right.
I seen an interview on Vlad TV. It was a dude, there's a retired DA agent, said a lot of this stuff is coming from China. The raw material coming from China being shipped to Mexico, and they they're making it in the form of things for candies and things like that, so that it's appealing to children. Well, and powder as well.
That is so sick, bro.
I think it's an epidemic, man. It's really a scary thing, man. I mean, I don't know, man. Something's gonna have to change because at this point, man, we're hearing about deaths like every couple of weeks.
Yes.
I know people.
Yes.
I know you know people.
Yeah, close
you know
people.
What I'm saying? You know people. People that have died from taking these drugs. You know what I'm saying?
And it's killing them quick.
It's not even no.
It's gone.
Yeah,
that's
gone.
it.
It's not even it's that quick.
So I don't know if we're paying taxes. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what the DEA is for. I don't know what ATF is for. If we paying taxes, we paying for and we got these kind of drugs on the streets of every city because you go to every major city and people are they're outside at the bus stops. They don't even care no more.
Right.
They're not hiding no more. They're just doing the drugs. I mean, I don't want to have to drive. I mean, I'm driving down the street and I got to cover my son's eyes when he's, when he's looking out the window, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to have to do that when I'm driving home from the store.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I got people outside the store just pissing, just right in the parking. It's getting ridiculous out here.
I'm going to tell you, the Safeway in Kent, the bottom of the hill, is go at your own risk.
Exactly, right?
Because that's why I don't even bring my kids to the store when I go down there. Because it's like, it seems like nobody's doing anything about it.
That's the thing. I think, they say, because of the police have pulled back after, George Floyd, and all of a sudden we're defunding. This is the thing that gets me about that argument, the defund the police argument. I just got to say this. They say,
don't talk about it.
They say they want to blame the citizens for saying defund the police, like we said, just take the police away and not put the money into programs in the city to help the inner city youth to take steps to become better.
Yes.
They just took half the sentence, defund the police, and left the rest of it off, and then want to blame us for the crime. Right. Like they're waiting for us to get to this point of being fed up to say, okay, come back.
Call you back. And then we're going to come back even 10 times worse.
10 times worse and have free reign. And then at the same
time, to come back.
Exactly. And at the same time, arm everybody. Anybody can have a gun now and just carry. So now we're going to have a whole bunch of people armed with guns. We'll have a militarized police. And the original reason that we were saying defund the police in the first place was to invest inside the communities and put that money to real work.
Yeah.
Not to these homeless, these overinflated homelessness initiatives that aren't putting people in housing, not to these, politicians that are pocketing money through these programs that nobody's seeing the real effects from, but put the money to work and clean up these streets, man. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And that's real talk.
Yeah, for me, the fentanyl in our time kind of reminds me of anthrax. Like when we were thinking anthrax was like a thing, and like with that powder, like, bro, I don't want to touch that.
You can open the letter.
You didn't want to open the letter.
Right.
It's nowadays like these kids, like it's crazy. One of the young gentlemen came into our, and he had to have been probably 6th grader, middle schooler. So somewhere in middle school. So he comes into the shop, and he said one of the kids at the school was just passing it out to kids, and just seeing how the kid was reacting. And I'm like, how did the middle schooler even get hold of something like that? Like, how is this stuff ending up in children's hands for them to even do something like that? And they thought it was funny if the kid passed out or if the kid choked or if the kid, whatever it may be. If the kid could die, who cares? It's just funny to them that they're giving this to kids. Like, how is this drug so deadly but so easily accessible?
I'll tell you what, man. If your kid brings my kid and gives us some candy, and I find out who you are, I'm at your door.
Yeah, that's real.
And I'm coming, and I'm if my son something happens to my son, I'm throwing it all away, and that's on everything.
Yeah.
Go bye.
Hey, that's it.
He goes, you go.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to the school. I gotta find out where that person lives at, by any means necessary, and I'm gonna go to that door.
Yeah,
because I gotta go straight equalizer on this thing.
But they gotta. The schools have to set a standard.
Yeah.
Now, as a principal, like I said, and I'll speak from the education department of dealing with coaching for dealing with the school district to a degree, but my wife actually being in the school, they got to put something out there that no candy being brought, period, to the school. You can't even have parties no more to do that. Now, what is Halloween going to look like in 2 months?
No way.
Nobody's going to go trick-or-treating now.
Yeah, no way, no how.
It's like, what do you do? Because,
way.
You don't know what people are doing. There's what people's mind is like.
Man.
Like
someone said you got to have a party at your house.
You're not doing no party.
Where store-bought candy that's already in the wrap, and you got to pray over it.
Not only that, no, I'm not even doing a store-bought candy because this stuff can be on wrappers. Like,
that's true.
They were saying
too.
people were putting on $100 bills. They were putting $100 bills on people's windows, like fake $100 bills, and people was like, "Oh man, I got $100 bills," but the fentanyl on the 100. So now the fentanyl's on your hands. So now if you do anything, rub your eyes or whatever, now you passing out. And now somebody's coming to grab you, or you just dying. Like stuff like that. I'm like, bro, you can't even do a party at your school. Like
you can't do no parties at the school, man.
My son had his birthday. We were trying to bring cupcakes to the thing, and I'm like, no, you can't bring no cupcakes. You
can't do that.
You can't bring nothing.
Right.
Like that's crazy. Like when we have parties at the school, like your birthdays. Oh yeah, your mama's bringing cakes in, cupcakes.
I literally just thought about that right now. Halloween, what is that gonna be like?
No,
I mean, you gotta flip the switch. It's over.
It's over.
My kid won't do no Halloween nor bring no candy home from school from Halloween.
Nah, that's real. That's crazy.
No way, no how.
And like I said, somebody, they gotta answer to everything.
Yeah.
At some point in time. Just like I was reading, I sent something over. I know you guys saw the lady that she found a cure for cancer.
Oh yeah.
And if they can, what did she say? She said if they can look from a satellite, and I'm not gonna go into this, but they can look if they can look from a satellite that's at
head or tails,
right outside the sea is head or tails. Why can't they determine it's happening or when people's hair have to fall out as to be an example? Yeah. So I just say, man, when I was a kid, there was a thing called DARE. Everybody remember DARE?
Drug free is the way to be.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean,
but that was Ronald Reagan's wife.
It was, huh?
Yeah. That was her. That was say no to drugs and all that.
It was her.
That was her.
That was the crack. That was the crack.
Yeah, that was the crack epidemic.
Right.
Exactly.
But I was like you say, if somebody got to stand for something. We have to stand up, and we got to get this stuff off the streets. We got to clean it. Like he said, all these different programs have said, it's a shame because some of these homeless people fell on bad luck or bad times, but at some point in time, they may be able to get themselves out of it. Now, when you're in a desperate situation and you don't even know what you're dealing with, and then boom, it could be that way. It just needs to stop.
Yeah, that's crazy.
You know what I'm saying?
But if that's the case, right? And if that's the case, right? Our government is supposed to have a responsibility, right? Then they need to invest into treatment programs and really be aggressive with these programs. You know what I'm saying? And also they got to get aggressive with the enforcement and punishment for. I hate punishment, man, because I really, I'm really not with the criminal justice system, but there's got to be some kind of treatment or something that happens to kind of clean up, because there's a lot of individuals out here that are suffering. You know what I mean? And then once this stuff gets a hold on you, it's very hard
to shake.
Very hard, because heroin. I got an auntie that's been doing heroin since forever. You know what I mean? And I think she's off of it, but she's been doing this since I was little. You know what I mean? And it started before me. You know, because that's a 70s drug. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So,
but they're not dying like
but fentanyl is like the next step from that.
Right.
So once it gets its claws in you, it's really tough to get get that monkey off your back.
And that's crazy that you make mention of this, because on my way here, I was dropping my son off at one of his friends' house, and he asked me, like, Dad, how do people get homeless? He don't know what I don't know. I didn't know. That's crazy. Like a 10-year-old, 12-year-old. He's 10. Ain't he 10? He is 10.
Yeah, he's 10. He's not 12.
Geez, I keep saying 12.
Right.
They're all 4 years apart. He's 10-year-old. So the 10-year-old asking me, Dad, how do you become homeless? And I'm like, good question. I said, it's one bad decision that the individual has made for you to end up homeless. All it takes is one bad decision. All it takes is you gamble, one bad wrong, you smoke some weed, you do a drug just one time. And guess what his answer was to me, like, do they get a second chance, or can they get a warning, or do they get a timeout? Or, I'm like, no, you don't get that when you're an adult. But as a kid, you think that, like, man, they don't get a warning for that?
Right.
Can I smoke this one time and get a warning? Oh, man, this is what it does? Like, no. Like, it's real life. Like, all it takes is one wrong, one bad decision, and you could be homeless.
Eminem told us
one time.
You get one shot, right?
Yeah. One time, and you could blow it all. And be homeless.
And that's when it comes down to choices. You know what I mean? And that's the one thing, when you talk about fatherhood, that's one of the aspects of life you got to teach. It's a tenet of teaching, parenthood. You got to teach that these are choices, and then you can make one bad decision.
One bad decision
can change everything.
Blow it all away.
And which ties into our next topic that we're going to talk about: depression.
Man.
Oh man, yeah.
Like it's happening at all ages right now.
It's big.
Yeah.
How do we get a hold to stop it? What can we do to make a change?
See, that I think we're looking at it from the wrong end. You know what I mean? Depression is the outcome. A lot of times the source of it is different.
That's good.
You know what I mean? One aspect of it is social media. You know what I mean? And we know that there's been studies that depression is caused by, they said there's teenage girls, you know what I'm saying, that are depressed in high school and in college because of the fact that they're competing with all these other girls. Just looking at Instagram, you know what I mean? Looking at social media, and everybody's on social media, and they pretty much showing their best life, taking pictures in all these luxury brands, making it look like they doing the most when it's not really real. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I mean, the only person I know that got a real one is Saya. You know what I'm saying? She really show what she's really doing, which is having fun and enjoying life. You know what I'm saying?
She does.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But these teenage girls are seeing these images of these stars and everything else, and things that they can't get to. You know what I mean? They're sitting inside these. So it's totally unrealistic what they're looking at. These girls that are totally made up and over, and they're dressed up, and I mean, they putting body makeup on, they putting face makeup on, they putting hair on, they putting eyes on, they put everything on. You know what I'm saying?
Which at nighttime they look nothing like that.
Look nothing like that. Then they borrowing clothes. You know what I'm saying? Them clothes they take it right back to the store.
Right.
But you tell a 16-year-old girl that she don't know.
Right.
She just know that all the boys is liking that picture, and she wants to be liked. You know what I mean? And I think it's the same for young men. You know what I mean? Young men want to be of value too. So they looking at social media, and
that's good, okay.
That's one aspect.
So hold on one quick, Dwayne. So a like is worth $10,000 right about now.
Yeah.
A like. That's what the world has come to. Go ahead, D. Go ahead, D.
He's 100% right.
Yeah, that's
but
crazy.
I think it also ties back into our first question about the fatherhood, because if you have like at least a foundation, that's not to say I'm not saying this to say DJ and Dejan and Drew are gonna grow up to be model citizens. I pray that that's what they do. Yeah. I pray that everything I've installed in them, that it manifests itself and is carried over. I pray that a foundation that I have laid for them is carried out. But it doesn't happen like that all the time. But at least I can say they was at least exposed to it. Yeah. And I think a lot of these kids aren't even being exposed to none of this stuff. They're just following whatever's in front of them, because there's no male or even in the female situation, there's no role model in there to even show them what it may look like in the real life before they even go to look at something in reality, whether it be the social media or whatever it is. So that's what I'm saying. Even though DJ may see, oh man, my guy, got a lot of likes on Instagram because he got braces or he's been in the gym. Look, At least he knows that, but he knows, oh, dad's grinding, so dad, at least he knows the proper way of doing it. This way is cool, but at least he knows. And whichever way he chooses, what he chooses. But at least he's been exposed to even know the right way or the way it could be.
And whatever way he takes, he's gonna have integrity.
100%. I would pray.
Yeah.
At least he's been exposed to what integrity looks like.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
At least he knows what it looks like. Now, when he goes, it's his choice.
Right.
I can't dictate that, but he knows what
one thing I'll say about my boys is they've had the opportunity to grow up around rich people. Like, for example, their Uncle Jamal, Isaiah Thomas, DeJounte Murray, these kids, but they saw these same kids play for me. So they saw the process of what it took for them to get to where they're at now.
The work ethic.
Yeah, they saw Kevin Porter as a freshman.
Yeah.
And they saw DeJounte as a sophomore. You know what I'm saying? They see the people that are playing overseas, or they see Uncle Jamal that he played with my dad. That's my dad's best friend. You know what I'm saying? And it doesn't move them to the point they're like, the work is put in based off the efforts that you put in and what you do when the cameras are not on you.
Right. Yeah.
And that's how you have to. That's how you guys have to play it. So I say that to say this: if we really find a way to motivate those kids, and it not even be basketball.
It doesn't always have to be.
It doesn't have to be sports. I'm talking about like my sons haven't been consistently to church in a while because of their basketball schedule. Now you're going back to church. There is no ifs, ands, or buts. God deserves the first because he allows you, and they understand that. Like, he's the reason why.
Right.
Now, it would be different. It's like, man, I don't got to do that. I'm going to the NBA. Well, then we got to have another sit down in another situation because, no, you got to prioritize. And I think if we instill even more the prioritizing, because a lot of times what happens, RK and Dwayne, women are having children at 16 and 17 years old. So they're 16 or 17-year-old and their kid. So the parents are still trying to kick it while they have a teenager.
Yeah. Grandparent is
you know what I'm saying? Right. You see what I'm saying? So they're still trying to kick it while their kids are trying to kick it too.
Yeah, grandparents.
Right. So there's no real morals, and there's not the grandmother. The grandmothers are dead.
Mama's not even. Mama's not grown up yet.
Right.
And great grandma might be 55.
And that's the point of what I'm making. That when you say social media, yes, they look at the Instagram models and be like, "That's what I want."
Right.
You don't know how much of that's photoshopped.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Or when you see the person in real life, like they don't look nothing like they looked on that photo shoot. So,
or the other part about it is that a lot of these people that are famous are really depressed.
Yeah,
they're sad.
But then they say they're getting the likes, so that's what success looks like.
Right.
Yeah.
But if you are around, even though I'm not a millionaire, I'm almost positive you ask either one of my kids, they will definitely tell you that's very successful, and I'm not a millionaire. But when they see that image of, oh man, that person got this many likes, they think that's what success looks like.
Yeah.
And so if that's their only image of success and what success looks like, that's the only way they can.
And that's what social media has done to us.
And that's what it will do for you.
I mean, I've seen sad millionaires, you know what I mean?
Agree.
Yeah, I seen sad, people that just, and shout out to the Loonies because they had a song about that, you know what I mean? I think when they first started seeing their real success, they started seeing the trials and tribulations. Like, I heard a conversation about that today where they said, everybody prays for success, but they don't pray for the jealousy and the envy, the depression, and everything else that comes along with it.
What did Biggie Smalls tell us?
Oh, more money, more problems. Definitely.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's real.
When we talk about depression, man, I think, I just hope that people can have somebody to talk to really, to really express how they feel and try to get through that, because that's tough. That's the hardest thing.
I was at a church service on Sunday, and the pastor was speaking on an individual, very successful millionaire, had a few businesses, owned a few homes, and took his life, but was a millionaire over one bad transaction. I guess the transaction he was making, or I guess one business deal went wrong.
Yeah.
And he thought he couldn't go on. Millionaire, had everything he wanted. Had boats, had yachts, had everything. Had cars, had a beautiful house off the water out in Lakewood, but took his life.
Yeah.
Over one bad transaction. Depressed. Like how do you have any and everything you want, but you take your own life?
I mean, because money can't buy you.
Yeah, money don't buy it.
Yeah,
it don't.
And that's why, like I said, I think that, even with all of us as being successful black men in our own rights and the things that we do, I don't have a sense of depression. Do I want more? Yes, but I'm willing to work to get it.
Come on.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
And I want to be able to be an example to show
That's exactly what it is.
Right, be an example to show
anybody.
Not only my kids, but like with us doing this.
Right.
People thought we were playing when we talked about this.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
People thought we were playing.
Yeah.
You guys ain't really gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? Or how long will it last?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's only the strong survives.
Come on.
And like I said, you can get out of the state of depression by moving forward and walking in it.
Yeah.
In the goals that you set.
Yeah.
And like everybody got a goal to do something. Which brings me to my next topic. 3-year goal.
Man, 3-year goal. Jeez, big goal. So I be
however you want to share it with the people.
So I be doing mine in like small, reachable goals that like for instance, it'd be like, man, I want to own a 5th or 4th home in 3 years.
That's actually big. That's not little.
Like, it's big. It's big.
That's big though.
But then moving into the way we've been moving, ours happened every 2 years.
Okay.
So in 3 years, ours was either our forever home or having like a 10-plex. Like a
multi-unit.
Okay.
A multi-unit.
What about you?
That's funny you was gonna say that because that's my next goal is to get the next home.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a big goal.
It's a big goal.
It's
but
it is like you
I'm
say.
not exactly sure.
Like,
I'm
gonna tell you why I said it.
I agree. No, I agree. I hear where you're coming from.
I'm not sure exactly how that's gonna look though. That's the thing. You know what I mean? Like you said, the next step might be your forever home, but I'm not sure if that's gonna be the forever home for us. You know what I mean? It just kind of depends on how things play out. But trying to look at the way the market is moving now and see if it's time to take advantage or not. Yeah. You know what I mean? Which, 2020 was really the year to do it. You know what I mean?
That's when I did it. Hey, that's when I did it.
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying. We move swiftly.
I'm trying to see if these prices, if these interest rates are going to continue to rise or if they're going to stay steady, and if these prices if that's the case, are the prices going to go down? So.
3 year for you.
Man, I want it to be where Lorena has a choice of working or not working. She can choose.
That's a beautiful goal.
Because at the end of the day, like I said, I know that she had wanted to own a supply store.
A beauty supply?
Something,
Man, you know what? I don't mean to cut you off.
No, you're good, bro.
But, as a black man, that is my pet peeve. I hate that we don't have our own people in place where we're buying our own supply. Hair supplies, at least.
Yeah.
We should have.
And she knows everything about it too.
Man, black people should be in that space. It should be dominated.
Yeah. And I wanted to have a place right there in Kent Station because that's where people are going to be all the time. It's never a dull moment when it's in those areas or around that area that it keeps it. And I want her to be able to have the option where she can say, do I want to get up and work today? If not, I got somebody on staff that's doing it where your money's making money.
Definitely.
Like I said, I'll do whatever it takes to make sure that is an option for her for the next 3 years. Yeah. So that's the same time in the next 3 years, man, Royal will be a senior in high school.
Right.
So he's getting ready to take the step to go to the next level. So it's just like, and mom can be able to travel with him. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because she don't have, dads may still have to work and do that, but she can travel with him because, moms are close to their kids, boy or girl, however you put it. So that's what I have in place for the next 3 years. And I've been writing and speaking into existence that something's going to hit to where it needs to happen. And I believe hopefully it's this that takes off where all of us can come off of our hustle and what we're doing at some point in time and really get picked up by somebody that puts this in perspective.
We're gonna get picked up, and I'm gonna stay locked in. Them Clippers is gonna. I mean, I gotta pass that down to the young bucks.
But you also said at one point in time that might be something that's done sooner than we know. So that
100%.
But it gives you options if that's the case.
I said 65, and then I'm like, look. But I'm talking about barbering at 65.
Oh, okay. I never heard you say that.
Oh no, because that's my brother. I'm like, I just love, I love barbering.
Yeah, if you love it, then I love doing it.
But then 65 turned into 42, and then 42 turned into it could turn into 40 because I'm close to it. But
yeah, well, that's why I said me and you have talked about this before. But I look at it like I want to be able to make my own schedule.
Yeah,
I don't want to be on nobody's schedule for forever. And if we can make our own schedule, we can plan trips accordingly, and there's when the money's making money, you feel better.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
definitely.
Going to our next topic, gentlemen. Forrest Whitaker. Great actor, right?
Great actor.
Definitely.
Come to find out,
Man, top 5.
and with top 5
Top 5.
all time.
He been around. He been in a lot of movies.
Are you standing on that?
I'm standing.
Only
on that.
Pac can judge you.
Only Pac can judge me. He's been in
Top
a lot
5.
He's been in a lot of movies.
What about you?
I don't know about top 5.
Top
Okay.
10 then?
Top 10.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, top 10.
So
7?
Briggs,
I'm not gonna say 7.
Is that 10? If he's at 10?
I mean, I don't know. I got to go through that
He's been in a
list.
lot of movies.
Yeah.
Which brings me to another point. Do we know that it was him that was playing in all those movies?
Yeah, you said you had a feeling?
Yo, come on,
Forrest Whitaker
man.
has 2 other brothers.
Is this a conspiracy or
One
what?
of them's name is Ken, and what's the other one's name?
Daniel or starts with a D.
Dwayne.
No, not Dwayne.
It's Dwayne. Let me double check it.
It was something with a D. I know it was.
Let me check it
It was
because
something with a D.
he has it's Damon.
Damon. I was like,
So you got Forrest, you got Ken, and you got Damon. However, Forrest and Ken look just like each other. Yeah. And Ken is the one with the lazy eye.
No, man.
Yes, he is.
I don't know, man, if I believe that, man.
Let's talk about that, man.
That's crazy.
I had no idea, gentlemen.
Yeah.
Which one be slobbering?
Which one is the back of the neck? Which one is that? I don't know. But what
That's
I do
crazy.
know,
if they've been the whole time, once been playing in the movies, and
right,
they've been putting in the credits that it's been Forrest the whole time, either one of them.
So you saying one guy's playing? So there's one Forrest Whitaker, and there's 3 guys playing Forrest Whitaker.
no, there's 2 guys playing Forrest Whitaker.
He says the one with the eyes is
Ken.
It's Ken Whitaker. Why?
Hey, okay, I'm telling
He said,
you.
I've been looking at images.
Right.
And the kid's the one with the lazy eye.
Right. I'm like, this is tripping me out. Hey, did you guys know that Forrest Whitaker got 2 other brothers? One's name is Ken and the other one's Damon. Damon's a little bit younger than the other 2, so he doesn't look anything like them.
Yeah, but
Forrest and Ken,
18 months younger.
they look just alike.
So you saying the guy that plays in Godfather of Harlem?
I don't know if that's Forrest or Ken.
What about the one in Star Wars?
I don't know if that's Forrest or Ken.
What about the one inside? What's that movie with the Great Debaters? Wasn't he in that?
Yeah, I don't know if it's Forrest or Ken.
Is it the Great Debaters?
It's Great Debaters. You're right.
Yeah.
I don't know. We actually have to look that up. And I'm telling you, bro, it is crazy. That threw me off.
What if they were both good actors, though?
They are, because they played in the King of was in New York, or what is it called? The King of Harlem. Yeah,
Godfather Harlem.
They're both in it.
What?
They're both in it, bro.
Maybe one's like a stunt double or something.
We gotta look that up.
One's a stunt double or something.
I looked it up.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I looked it up. I kid you not. I'm not gonna make it up only Pocket Judge because you guys can call me out on it.
Say, look, hey, you can look it up yourself too while you're on it.
You got look it up right now as you're watching. There's 3 brothers and Sarah can't find nothing. I don't know what she's searching for, but I'm saying there's 3 of them. And 2 of them.
I did see that there was 3. Two of them look alike. One just got a lazy eye.
Yeah, that messed me up.
Yeah, and then little brother got a lazy eye.
Speaking about Forrest Whitaker, obviously we know he's a great actor, but it's the 60th anniversary, gentlemen, for the Martin Luther King I Have a Dream speech.
That's crazy.
What does MLK honestly mean to you? What does he mean to you?
That's huge to me. To me, he's my he's my everybody say either Malcolm X or what's the other? The other.
What's his name?
Nelson Mandela. I'm like, look, when you start saying the M, I'm like,
Nelson Mandela.
Nelson Mandela. But to me, Martin Luther King, I remember I was a 5th grader and I went to an all-white school, and so on that day, I had a dream speech, and I'm like, man, it was just I was the only black kid to do it, so that's why they had me do it. But I thought, man, that guy was so powerful for what he stood for what he did. Like he was my hero. Like he was somebody. I'm like, bro, that's what black excellence to me looked like.
That's good.
And that's what I thought.
Black excellence.
You know. And then to hear that it was on my son's birthday, I'm like, sheesh, like I gotta tell him today, like, yeah, man, you a young king, man. Look, I don't know if he even knows that the speech was on this day.
Right.
That's crazy. I this whole time avoided him 15 birthdays.
Have you guys
That's
ever
the first
listened?
time?
Have you guys ever actually listened to that speech? It was
powerful.
man,
Powerful.
that was amazing.
Powerful. NAACP. It was what was it called? The Walk on Washington.
March on Washington.
March on Washington.
When he did that speech. Yeah.
What does Martin Luther King mean to you?
Oh man, it's a trip, right? Because I look at a lot of our black heroes. Marcus Garvey, Malcolm X. You know what I'm saying? John Henry Clark. You know what I'm saying? I look at a lot of people from our history, but Martin Luther King stands out. He's a standout individual because of the sacrifice that went into everything he did. He basically, he laid it all on the line. He was the ultimate civil rights. I mean, he's one of the main proponents that we have the civil rights legislation.
Agreed.
Yeah, I mean, it was him that was in that office when they signed it. When was it Lyndon B. Johnson signed that legislation?
I think it is.
That was Martin Luther King was standing there. He handed him a pen because he'd been fighting that fight. And even when the country turned on him, when America didn't love him no more, he was still out there advocating for black people and pushing for the agenda. I can't take nothing away from that man. He's a great man. You know what I mean? There's few people that can stand within his shadow. You know what I mean?
Agreed.
And he deserves all the accolades
100%.
he gets. You know what I mean? And yeah,
I'm glad that you make mention of that because I don't mean to cut you off, but really thinking about that, what individual that we have in these last 60 years that you could say stand on those shoes, like on those shoulders. Like I can't think of another individual who will fill those shoes. And if there is to come another individuals that can fill those shoes of somebody that movement, that pivotal, that much powerful in the African American culture, like that's crazy.
I think that me and my thoughts. I think that's by design, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
You know what I mean. They kind of took him out at a time where he was, when he was talking about his philosophy had changed somewhat to where he was talking about economic, economic
equalness for
equality. You know what I mean? And America making changes, not just in words, not just in policy, but in economics, so that we all benefit from this system of America.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's crazy. That's good.
Yeah, I just think that he was a powerful individual, man, and we can learn a lot from him. His whole story, though.
I speak from a perspective when every city has an MLK street.
Agree.
Yeah.
It shows you that the effect that he had on the culture itself. Being fortunate to have the same last name has been always a big component to me with seeing somebody that was so selfless and sacrificed everything because he had a family with a wife and multiple children.
Yeah.
Houses, people burned his house down.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously been in jails, water sprayed on him, and he still never wavered. It's almost like not to the same magnitude, but how we saw our Lord and Savior carrying that cross and all the different things that they did. It's like he kind of modeled himself as an example, as kind of going on that. How many of us will be that selfless in this present day and time? It's hard to say because we haven't seen it. Right. There's some people that will stand up for something, but then when they get in the position, they switch it up.
Yeah,
but you know what I'm saying, or they want to back off. So, MLK, man, I'm 43, so he gave it all he had for me to be able to have the opportunity to sit at the same tables as anybody that's the opposite color of me, and me not to feel less of myself than who they are. As if I can't look them in the eye.
Yeah.
And I salute you, MLK.
Them,
you know what I'm saying? In heaven above that,
man, for real.
60 years
that's crazy.
From that speech that you helped change the world.
Yes, you did. And it's still lasting.
You're not a cultural icon. You are a world icon.
Yeah.
But the craziest part about that is that speech was his prophecy, knowing that he wasn't going to live that much longer.
Right. He knew.
He knew it was the end.
He knew.
He knew he had pushed as far as he could go, and he just felt him breathing on his neck. You know what I mean? So it's sad.
And I'm a firm believer of legacy's not what you can physically leave an individual. Legacy is if an individual keeps talking about you generations after generations. And I think MLK is somebody that left a legacy that will continue to get talked about. We're talking about 60 years ago. That it will continue 60 more years to get talked about. 100 more years will get talked about, and that's you're powerful. Like that's leaving the legacy when you're talked about. When they saying, "Oh, Uncle Wayne left this," or "Uncle Wayne did this," or "Uncle," or Dad did this, or or that's Paul Wayne, you know, whoever I leave a legacy to, or whoever I leave anything on.
But I think on that topic of legacy, man, I think I think Florida governor, the Florida governor does a disservice to his legacy and the legacy of civil rights, the legacy of black people in general when he's talking about changing these policies so that the story of black people is not told inside schools. When they start framing the politics around, you know, black people and removing our story or trying to basically whitewash the story, take the full complexity of the story and, you know, just basically lighten it up for other people's consumption to make them not feel guilty or not understand the depth of what he went through and the price he took, the price that it took for him to make those changes. Yeah. When you got people like Ron DeSantis basically acting like, oh, we're gonna change the story, write the history. We're not gonna teach that in history books. We're gonna frame these conversations as what they call it, CRT. You know what I'm saying? When they start talking like that and start distorting the story, the real history of America and how ugly and brutal it can be. Yeah. You know what I mean? I think that does a disservice to his legacy and others like him.
To his legacy, but I think with Martin's case, I don't think his legacy will ever be.
No, but see, that's the thing. But that's the problem, right? Yeah. You say it's not his legacy shouldn't be tarnished. Yeah. But if his legacy is not told correctly, then it's not going to be a legacy.
Is it still being talked about?
Yeah, it's not going to be that same legacy. It's going to be something.
But it's on for us to continue to keep his legacy pushed, even though there are individuals who.
I mean, but I mean, you would hope that a nation. See, that's the thing. You know, you have other communities that make an effort to show and to explain their history to their people so that these things never happen to them again.
Right.
Exactly. Right. And that's the important part of a legacy. Right. He paid that cost, so it should be taught so that it shouldn't happen again. Right. But, you know, if we let them change it, then
you can't. Like I said, if you won't stand for something, you what? Fall for anything.
Exactly.
And that's legacy is important, just like even on a much smaller scale, but our pastor that passed away, Bishop Hicks. Yeah, we got to continue to tell the stories and the legacy of what he's built and left behind. Yeah, Martin Luther King, man, the people that live through those eras know already.
Yeah,
and the voice has they kind of continue to have a voice. Right, you got to be able to your children's children got to be able to have a voice that. Why is that street named MLK? Because this man right here made it so that you could be in a position you are in today. Yeah. And period.
That's the thing. And they rename the streets. They could take them names back.
Yeah, I think that you know what I mean? They could, but I think that would cause the uproar of a nation that would be people would really they don't like that because I didn't know all the states had it. Yeah, that messed me up.
Not every state has the holiday.
They don't?
Not every state has a holiday.
Really, which ones don't?
I'm not exactly sure which ones, but
we can research that. There's
a couple of them that don't have the holiday.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying.
That's ridiculous.
Empire Way was changed to MLK.
Yeah. All history. So I mean, like I said, again, 60 years from that speech, man, and like I said, how far did you know statistically, RK, or how far away when it was from when he gave the speech that he passed away?
I'm not sure, but I think it was around.
Too long after that, right?
I'm not exactly sure. I think he gave the speech in 64, and I think he died like in 68.
I think he gave a speech in 63.
In 63.
60 years from now.
Oh, okay.
So he gave it
63,
63.
Okay. Yeah, man. Shout out Dr. Martin Luther, Reverend the King. Exactly. What he said coming to America? He said,
you never met no doctor.
He said, yes, I did. Turned around, walking down the street, somebody punched me in my chest.
Like, boom. Oh, I thought you were somebody else.
Yeah, that was great, man. Hey, man.
Yeah, man. Salute to Dr. King, man.
Our guy, Steve Harvey, man, is going through again, man.
Yeah.
It's really, really, I don't really know what to say. I mean, it's people's life, and I don't know if we want to go into too deep about it, but just in the fact of he's giving advice to everybody else on
you
on
can't
show.
let them all think like a man, man.
Right, and then all of a sudden his wife now wants a divorce.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I seen a post that said if he got $40 million and his wife is cheating, then I don't stand a chance.
Right. I don't spend a chance with my $100 or my $1,000.
And we gonna leave that right there.
$1,000 there.
We gonna leave that right there. You gonna expound on that at all? You don't want to expound on that at all?
Like, look.
You gonna leave that right there? RK said it
right there.
RK said enough. We got something new. I want to add. We haven't talked about sports.
Oh yeah.
Overrated or underrated is one. I'm gonna say a name, and you guys can give me just your overrated, underrated, just what they did in when they played.
Yeah.
Sean Kemp, the Rain Man.
Equally rated.
Okay.
Underrated.
Underrated. You want to expound on why?
Just think he was a bruiser, man. At a time when the game needed bruisers, you had to have a guy like that. He was essential, and he deserves all the credit he gets.
And then I think, he like you say, he deserves all the credit he gets. I don't think he deserves more.
Okay.
I think he's gotten his roses.
Okay.
Like, when they speak on the Sonics, you don't think about the championship Sonics. You really think about, Rain Man, or you think about Kemp and Gary Payton.
Yeah, the Rain Man and the glove.
You think you think about them when you think about the Sonics. Even though they have won a championship, people kind of tend to gloss over that and think of. So I think he's gotten his roses.
Shout out Sean Kemp.
Dirk Nowitzki.
Sheesh. Equally rated. And for me, equally rated is because I think not only does Dirk get his respect as a Dallas Maverick, I think he gets his respect as a changing the culture of big man. Like, we had stretch big man like big lefty Sam Perkins, and we had a few big shooters, but when Dirk came in, he made it, cute and sassy for a big 7-footer to be out there on the 3-point line, knocking down tray bombs, turn around European at that. Like,
yeah,
Luke Longley was another one that comes to mind. Kukoc is another one that comes to mind, but Dirk changed the whole thing. Turkoglu was another one, but Dirk made it like
Dirk was a prototype.
He was like.
So you said he was equally rated.
Dallas, he gets the credit because you think of Dallas, you don't think of Dirk. But I'm talking about when you think of global changing of the game, I think Dirk, for me, he changed the game for big man.
And for those reasons, I think he's underrated. You know what I mean? Because his game was pivotal. that knee when he did that fadeaway, yeah,
right,
I mean, and he did, and it worked. He got them that championship. It took a while, it took a while to get there, but he got them that W. You know what I mean? He held that trophy. So,
Emmitt Smith,
who
underrated.
Underrated.
Yeah, I still say underrated.
Okay.
Go, if you want to.
I mean, he's another guy that's a prototype. You know what I mean? He was the prototypical running back at that time when running backs were small, fast, straight through that line. You know what I'm saying? Pound, and he got you them yards. Yeah.
That's good.
And for me,
and you can't think Troy Aikman without thinking Emmitt Smith. You know what I mean?
I'm taking the other end.
So what's your answer?
Mine's is overrated.
Okay.
And mine's is overrated because back then, if we really thought about it, they had this is before we had analytics and all the other stuff, they had one of the top offensive lines in, like, when you talk about offensive lines, that's what pushes everybody back for them holes run through. And they said Barry Sanders at the same time, same era, but he only played for, what did Barry Sanders only play for, like 8 years? He was cut short because of he was having to do so much herky-jerky or stop starter, and he had to do his moves. And I think he's underrated rather than.
Well, we're speaking on this person.
So for me,
stay on this one.
Right. So for me, that's why I say.
That's the case. I can say Jim Brown's underrated.
Right. Let's stay on the topic.
Overrated.
He's overrated
because
because he had a good offensive line.
He had a great offensive line.
Seafood.
Seafood is overrated.
Super overrated.
Okay. Why?
Depends on what you're talking about. Are we talking about like sea roaches, or are we talking about the weird looking fish?
Crab and lobster. Crab and lobster.
I'm not a seafooder, so it's overrated for me because I'm not a seafooder. I might dibble and dabble with seafood.
So it's overrated.
Yeah, and I don't like. First of all, I'm allergic to half of it. You know what I'm saying? I can't eat shellfish, so
gotcha.
I haven't ate crab since I was little. My throat swelled up.
Hancock swallow?
No, Hancock, no.
Was it Hitch or it was Hitch?
It was Hitch.
Yeah,
Hitch. Yeah, but Yeah, just and fish in general. I eat I eat cod, but like they say, they serving you fish. You don't even know what it is half the time.
We don't know half of the stuff we eat anymore.
Exactly.
Wesley Snipes.
Underrated. Underrated.
Wow.
Underrated. I mean, my two that showed me that he's underrated is I think it's Tu Wong Fu. I don't think about that one at all. You know what I'm saying? But the ones that I think about are
Blade for sure.
Blade for sure.
Blade
and New
for
Jack
sure.
City, man.
New Jack City. Ooh,
Man, Nino
I'm
Brown, man.
overrated.
That's a pivotal, iconic
you're
role.
Right. I'm gonna go overrated.
I gotta go.
I'm gonna go underrated.
Yeah, I gotta give him
my bad.
underrated.
Yeah, I'm gonna go underrated too.
Cuba
Yeah.
Gooding Jr.
Overrated. You knew that was overrated. That's why you threw him out there.
Yeah. What's that singing movie him and Beyonce was in?
I don't care.
Oh yeah, that was a. Oh no.
It was a singing movie with him and Beyonce in the church.
He was great in orbit. He was great in orbit.
So is he over or under?
Overrated, bro.
Overrated?
He was great in orbit. I think it was in Snow Dogs, but Radio was the one.
Fighting Temptations. Yeah, I'm like, I know he was in the church music.
Radio was the one. That boy's good.
Pool.
Like swimming pool or billiards?
Pool. Billiards pool.
Billiards. I think that's rated. I like billiards. I think it's
Over,
rated.
under,
equally
okay.
rated. I like billiards.
I don't know. It's a staple, man. I say it's
a pool hall.
Yeah, I say it's equally. I mean, I like darts more. So
I do like darts.
Yeah,
I do like. I like pool. I like them both. They good.
Now axe throwing is overrated. But,
For real.
Is it?
No, it's super.
Yeah.
And it's so hard, bro. Have you been axe throwing with the wife?
Yeah,
Like axe throwing is tough.
I've been a couple times. Yeah, it's cool to do. It's something to do.
You do it a few times, and you're like, bro, I'm done with this. Like, you throw 5 axes and they don't land. You're like, or they land 2.
But when it hit, you be like, yeah, I got that.
Like, I got it.
So because it's a challenge. Because it's a challenge.
It's not the challenge. It's like
It get boring.
Yeah, it's not the exciting. It's not
get
exciting.
boring.
Go-karts.
Oh, bro, underrated.
Man, underrated, man.
Underrated. Look,
We don't do it enough, huh?
we don't do it. I wish we had them. Like, that's why I like Teslas. It's like a big go-kart. That's why I like driving.
Yeah, that high tech, that spot we went to on down there
in the Kent one or the
whichever one. You know, I just like them.
Oh yeah.
We got to go back.
We got definitely got to go
sidecar. Yeah,
we
that's
definitely
fun, especially because it's the next step up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I like that. Okay. Last one. For this. Gold.
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 Right now it's precious metals are going down, but I think gold is underrated.
Okay.
I think it's what we started. It's something that we was built on. That money was built on.
Yeah.
And I don't think it would ever go away.
So
I think the dollar could go away.
So what do you put it
but
at?
I think it's underrated also. I think it's something that will
Stand the test of time.
stand the test of time.
I think, man, gold is like, man, and it's not. I'm not a big. I wear some pieces, but I'm not a big jewelry guy. I don't have to have a whole bunch. But I think gold, just what it represents, man, is just like I don't know
Royalty.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's like the quintessential precious metal, man. I mean, even though there's platinum, there's iridium, there's all these other things out there, but gold is
the original.
Yeah.
You think of when you think of gold, you think of royalty.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
All right. Big question right here, fellas. You have 3 wishes.
3 wishes.
3 wishes. What would they be? Who wants to go first?
I'm not saying I wish to go to heaven, but I'm going to go to heaven. So I ain't gonna use that.
So let me refresh it. Only Pod can judge me. And I want him to answer the question directly without any elaborations. Here it is. 3 wishes.
Wishes. Man, my first wish. Jeez, I want to say I wish for $1 billion, but I mean I'm gonna get that. I'm gonna say I wish for $1 billion. Be a billionaire.
I wish for long-standing health.
Ooh.
And
Yeah.
what's your second one?
Second one, I guess a non, what they call it, basically the money keeps flowing. You know what I mean? I forgot what it's called. Residual income.
Residual.
A significant residual income. Yeah.
Okay. Second one.
My second one, to at least live to 120. 120 is, I think 60, I'm making the turn and I'm living my life after 60.
Third one.
A third one? I wish y'all make us big time, man. Send us out there, man. Somebody tap in. Let us know we going global, bro. I wish we going global, bro. We going global. I ain't gonna wish that we going global.
Your third one, okay.
I mean, happiness for me and my family. You know, everybody we touch.
That's dope.
Happiness, man, because that other stuff, man. You know, all the stress and everything.
Fade away.
Yeah, and I call home. I talk to people out here. I just hate to hear the sad part. You know what I mean? I just want to have a good time. I want everybody to have a good time. Let's enjoy life. You know what I mean?
All right, we are at the point, and you guys know what it is. Rapid fire.
Yeah.
I think I got some tough stuff here today. We're gonna go kind of like this. Any arena in the football world, you can watch the Super Bowl. What arena are you gonna be in?
Dallas Cowboys for sure.
So Texas Stadium.
Yeah, they got like 100 AT&T Stadium. They got like 100-foot.
Yeah, that screen is ridiculous. Yeah.
Are you talking about watching it? Like watching it?
Physically
Playing?
live at the game.
Oh no! I'm going. I thought you were talking about watching it. I'm like, bro, they got a big screen. I'm not
physically at the game. You're at the Super Bowl, and you can pick any stadium.
Man, I'm not gonna lie to you. I think I might take Miami Stadium.
Okay.
That weather, that being out there, is open stadium. I think I'm gonna go Miami. Miami or SoFi. That SoFi Stadium look kind of nice too.
SoFi's in
the new Rams one.
Yeah.
The Rams and Chargers.
And that's my team played inside that. Man, I wish I could have went to that. That'll be my choice. SoFi, because it looked dope. Especially when they did that. When Dr. Dre did that halftime show, that was crazy.
I'm changing my answer. SoFi for me too.
Yeah, SoFi was
both
dope.
of you guys.
Yeah.
Next question.
If not, number 2 would be Dallas. Dallas looked dope.
If you could box and had the opportunity, you feel like of winning, which boxer would you fight?
I'm not gonna lie to you.
You gonna call somebody out?
If I could box.
If you could box. If you were a boxer, who would you fight?
I'm fighting Muhammad Ali.
Ooh.
But if I could box, I'm not gonna say
this is this good rapid fire right here.
Muhammad Ali for sure.
You want the greatest.
I'm not fighting no Roy Jones. I'm not fighting no knockout person. I'm a fight some stinger. Like, he gonna be bopping me. Look, I'm cool, but I can't fight no Mike Tyson, bro. You must be out of your mind. Like, bro, ain't no way. Like, I'm at least stay in the ring. I'm gonna go Muhammad Ali.
All right. I mean, if I was a skilled boxer. Yes. Yeah, you have to. I'm not gonna just jump in the ring with this guy. But if I'm a skilled boxer, Sugar Ray Leonard.
Sugar Ray Leonard's a good one. That's a good one.
I'm going to Sugar Ray. It's gonna be a lot of stingers though, but yeah.
And if you could play basketball on an NBA team with one player, who would you want to play with?
Repeat the question for me.
So if you can play hoop with any NBA basketball player in a game, who would you want as your teammate?
If I could play, right now. Or at any point in time?
Any point in time.
Magic.
Ooh, Magic's the good one.
Magic's going to put me in position, to score the buckets.
And I'm going for sure.
You play with LeBron?
Sure. LeBron. He going to give me the ball. I'm going to shoot that thing. He going to make the right decisions because I'm going to be open because they think I'm trash. And I'm going to knock that thing down.
That's good. That's good. Next one. Steve Young or Joe Montana?
I'm a Joe Montana.
I'm a Joey too.
Joe
Montana. Yeah,
he's Steve Young second. He's right behind him, but
I'm going Joe Montana. He's underrated.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Joe Montana.
No, he's not. He's arguably the best quarterback ever.
He's
not.
I think he was the best until Tom Brady.
Everybody's. Yeah. Oh, I agree.
Yeah. So, I was going to ask you, who is the GOAT of football at quarterback?
Tom Brady.
Hands down?
Hands down.
Yeah.
Joe Montana was there.
Yeah.
And then I had Peyton Manning over him. And then I said,
really?
once Tom, I did. I was a Indianapolis coach.
Peyton Manning they gave him that championship.
Well, he has two, so they can't give him two.
Well, maybe
So
he
there-
earned one, but that second one they gave
Well, he
him.
went to 3, so.
But they gave him that last one. You gotta admit that he gave. You gotta admit that they gave him.
They took one from him too. That Chicago.
So they gave him one back then.
They gave him the Chicago one, and they took one with the New Orleans one from the Katrina thing.
Oh,
that's the one he got the little pick and
they
come
did
on,
take that. The Saints
they gave
come on, bro. They do. That's what I'm saying.
All right, be respectful about it then.
Well, I'm just saying.
There you go.
You gotta admit they gave that last one though.
Then they got taken one.
Okay,
He just gave it back. All right. So I had Joe Montana.
That's why they owed him one. Then
they owed him one.
Montana.
Joe Montana. All right, Joe. Hey, look. And then I had Peyton there. And then when Tom Brady did that Atlanta Falcons one and did that comeback. He didn't even have to win the Tampa Bay one, but once he won that Atlanta one, he
became the guy.
Yeah.
I stick Tom Brady for the same reason, you know what I mean? But I just gotta add, he was given that last one.
Who Tom Brady was?
No.
Oh, I thought you said Tom Brady was giving that last one.
No.
He earned that one.
He earned
Who
that.
is the best football team of all time?
Ooh. Football team? Man, those 87 Bears.
Not the 85, 84 Bears?
No, not 84 Bears. The undefeated team. This is the Dolphins. The 72 Dolphins.
So
is that the one that laces out?
You're just guessing, or just what you believe?
They were undefeated. They went the whole.
Okay. Is that your answer?
That's my answer. Ain't nobody went undefeated yet.
Okay, 72 Dolphins with Franco Harris.
Yeah, see, Franco Harris, huh? I didn't know. I thought he was always a Steeler.
Or Larry Zonka, excuse me. Larry Zonka.
Man, this is tough because I want to, as you know, I'm a Bengals fan, so I hate to say any of the Steelers with that Iron Curtain, but I've always heard about them teams when I was younger.
Tough.
You know what I mean?
Tough.
Or Steel Curtain.
You're talking about defense.
Yeah.
You said that's their best defense.
Yeah.
You're talking about team.
But team, I gotta, the most exciting time was watching them Joe Montana, Jerry Rice 49er games. You know what I mean? Maybe because that's where I was at the time.
That's real life.
Do you think
those games when Jerry Rice was dragging his toes out, catching the balls at the end of that game? Yeah, man, that was crazy.
Yeah.
So I lean that. I say one of them teams. I'm not sure the year, but it was one of them years they won that Super Bowl.
Do you think that team was better than what was it? 02 Greatest Show on Turf? The Rams? With Kurt Warner and Isaac Bruce and
they were good.
Marshall Faulk,
they were good.
They were exciting.
They were good, but I mean, if that's the case, I go to the Seahawks when they was. I think they had Sean Alexander. They played that game and it was a real good game.
With who?
I can't remember. But it was a good game. I can't remember. It was like in the early 2000s though.
Did Sean Alexander play Kurt Warner or no more? Sean Alexander played in the Super Bowl.
I think his name was Sean. He was a running back, right?
Yeah, he's running back. Yeah, he's most overrated running back.
But y'all went to the Super Bowl that year though.
They played the Steelers.
Yeah.
Lost.
They lost that game, but they
got cheated too.
I agree, they got cheated.
They got cheated.
Should no quarterback get no pat or what did he get unnecessary roughness?
Yeah.
For making the tackle.
Yeah.
No, see. That's another one to be giving them.
But then what about the 18-1 New England Patriots?
Yeah, that team was
18-1 New England Patriots.
Yeah, that was
you gotta
crazy.
think Tom Brady passed for 55 50 touchdowns.
No, that was before.
No.
That was
50
before
touchdowns.
that.
This is before what's his name had 55. He had 50 touchdowns. And I think Jerry Rice. Randy Moss had 20 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Or 19
that was
touchdowns
crazy.
that year. I'm like, dang.
That was
my
crazy.
guy that was a show.
That was I got to give it to that. That was a squad.
And here's the last question: who wins, the Golden State Warriors, 72-9, or the 73-9, or the Bulls 72-10? 7-game series. Who wins?
Man, I got to give it to the Bulls. They were just a tougher team.
And that just depends on what era it's played in. I'm giving it to Golden State. And I'm not even Golden State Warriors fan. I'm giving it to Golden State. That Golden State team was very, very tough.
Yeah, Clay and Steph was
and I'm not even just
cylinders.
going on just the offensive. I'm not talking about the scoring. When you go back and look at that 73-1 team.
What's the name?
Or 73-9. They was actually a top 4 defensive team for the whole year.
They had David.
They had Iggy.
David, what's his name? David West.
They had defensive players.
Yeah, they were solid.
They had defensive players.
I think Sean Livingston was on the team at that time.
Sean Livingston was on the team. Like, they had defensive players.
Yeah. That's tough.
I don't know if
said the
anybody's
Bulls,
stopping
you said
Jordan,
Golden
but
Yeah, that's the
but
thing.
it's like let Jordan get his.
Jordan
man.
Pippen was just, you know what I mean?
The 72-10 Bulls is the greatest team we've ever seen on earth. With Dennis Rodman, Michael
yeah.
Jordan, Ron Harper, Scottie Pippen. There's nobody that could do anything with them. Michael Jordan would have averaged 60 against Golden State.
In what era, bro?
It doesn't matter what era.
Yes, it does. It matters
No, it
about
doesn't.
what rules.
No, it
Are we
doesn't.
going on Jordan rules or are we going
It
on
doesn't-
Steph Curry rules?
does-
'Cause they got two different rules now.
So if
Steph
Jordan
Curry got
Steph
rules.
Curry ain't got no rules.
Steph Curry got rules,
Steph
man.
Curry ain't got
Shooting
no
from half
rules.
court. Look,
that
getting flopping and fouling.
That's not rules.
He don't be
Look,
flopping.
He be flopping.
But guess
Oh,
what?
this guy.
Guess what they've done though? They've just changed
And
the rules
they
for
wouldn't even
flopping.
been able to play
LeBron be
zone.
flopping.
They wouldn't even be able to play zone in that era.
let's keep it real.
So then
LeBron
what do
be
you think
flopping.
Michael Jordan, them guys didn't play zone. They played man to man.
Yeah, that's true.
What are we talking
They had
about?
the big- they had the big dude in the middle.
If you play in an area that you can't touch, what do you think Michael Jordan would average?
Doesn't matter. They could throw a double team at him.
That doesn't matter.
That does matter.
No, it doesn't.
They used to throw double teams.
They weren't throwing no doubles. Go look at the players.
He's never.
Go look at the players.
Jordan.
Yeah, go look at the
Never
players.
saw
Hey,
Michael Jordan.
go YouTube it and go
I
YouTube.
don't.
Go YouTube this.
I lived in it.
Let's do this one time.
I
for me.
lived in it.
Go
You know what I'm
YouTube.
saying?
I lived in
Go
there.
YouTube the 96 Eastern Conference NBA Finals when the Pacers played the Bulls.
Oh, I see.
Go look it up.
Who won that series?
The Bulls won it. I
okay.
agree. Listen, but when they tipped the ball, who do you think Jordan went to go play defense on? And the Bulls, I'll name the Bulls or the Pacers roster. They had Chris Mullin, Reggie Miller, Mark Jackson, Rick Smith, and they had Antonio Davis. Who do you think out of them three Jordan went to go play D on?
Why does it even
Mark
matter?
Jackson?
He went straight to Chris Mullin, who sits in the corner.
Mullin.
He wasn't playing no D on nobody, like, bruh. And Chris Mullin on the other end, like, they're playing D on him. Like, stop. And we're not talking about no run TMC Chris Mullin either.
Hold on,
But they had the triangle though. They was running
Michael
the triangle
Jordan was
though.
first team all defense that year
Oh
as
my
well.
gosh, I agree.
No, it doesn't matter if you agree or not.
He
It's a
was.
fact.
Listen, I agree with that.
You can't agree.
Who was playing D?
He plays D. He guarded Reggie a lot of times.
He
So
did
you
not
say-
guard no Reggie. Go look at the
Listen,
tip.
You
of
talking
it.
about the tip off.
The louder,
That's not the whole game,
The louder
though.
Tip of
you
it.
yell, it's
All
not
right,
going to give you an
I
answer.
might need to fast forward it a little longer. And
Yeah, the louder you yell, it's not going to give you an answer
I'm
that's
going that same
different.
game to see if
Listen to
Reggie
what I'm
Miller,
saying. Michael Jordan guarded Reggie Miller. You're talking about one
Scottie
play.
Pippen guarded my guy Reggie.
You can get on a switch with me. That doesn't mean you're going to guard me the whole game. That doesn't mean anything.
Scottie Pippen
Michael Jordan
played great passing
Michael
lane.
Jordan guarded Reggie Miller.
Had
Michael
great-
Jordan guarded Mark
He
Jackson
had
as a
great
6'5" point guard.
anticipation. I agree. He wasn't
No, you're wrong, bro.
That
If you're
boy
gonna,
played great
if you're
still
gonna talk
in
about
anticipation.
if you're gonna talk about basketball, be factual.
I am being
with your
facts.
stats. No,
my
you're
guy
not.
did not.
No,
why
you're
would
not.
They bring? Why would Scottie Pippen be on the team?
Why would he be on the team?
Yes, he was there to guard the other team's best player.
That's not always true either.
Come on, Dave.
I watch
Come on.
basketball. I study basketball.
You telling me your best defender ain't playing your best offensive player?
Michael Jordan was one of the best defenders the NBA's ever seen.
Scottie Pippen was on the team.
So that means
Scottie Pippen's defense was better than.
So you're saying that okay? So when you're saying who did Michael Jordan guard when they played Orlando?
What's wrong? The young Orlando
With
The
Shaq and Penny.
Who Jordan guard?
Who did he guard?
He had to guard Penny.
No, he didn't because they had Nick Anderson and Dennis Scott, which are weaker. See, ladies and gentlemen,
Who did he guard
only
then?
podcast
So he said-
judgment.
so he said,
He guarded Penny, but I'm saying you said he had to guard Penny. No, he didn't.
Come on, bro.
They had Ron
How tall was
Harper
Penny?
and Penny 6'8", 6'9".
Okay. I can see
Yeah,
why-
so
I can
what
see-
are we?
Okay,
Again,
no, I was about
we
to say, if
gotta
it was
know
if it
what
was
the
6'8"
facts are.
No,
in
that's just one
sports.
series. That's just one
I'm
series.
saying we gotta know what the facts are in sports, ladies and
I'm
gentlemen.
telling you this.
And
That's
all I'm saying is, there's Michael Jordan, then there's everybody else,
So then let me ask you this question.
Pretty
then.
much.
and that's a fact.
How many
That's a
first
fact.
teams?
And it's a wrap.
Oh, no. How many first teams does Scottie Pippen have?
I don't know. Look it up.
Should he have more than Jordan?
No, you should.
Oh my! I'm done.
You should be.
He
Because
should
you've been talking nonsense the
we
whole
know about
time.
Scottie Pippen. All we
turn these
know
mics
is just
down.
defense.
You've been talking nonsense the whole
All
time.
we know about is Scottie Pippen is defense.
No,
That's
we
all
don't.
we know.
No, that's not true.
He's a defender.
You've never watched the Bulls, bro. You watched them
I
one
watched
time.
them.
One time.
I watched 96 on.
You watched one.
I watched 96. I watched.
Missed 5 other championships.
No. I only missed 3.
Missed 5
I only
other
missed the first
championships.
3. I watched 96, 97, and 98. I watched both Utah.
Then if you watch those series, you saw who dominated on both ends, which was Michael Jordan.
He dominated on the offensive end.
No, he dominated. He
He
dominated on the defensive end as well. In 1998, you want to know his stat line?
Where?
NBA Finals MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, All-Star MVP, First Team All-NBA offense, First Team All-NBA defense. Do we need to say any more? There's nobody that's ever done it in the history of basketball.
All right.
Case closed.
Case closed.
Suitcase filled with clothes.
Suitcase.
Only pod can judge us.
Suitcase filled
We
with
love
clothes.
y'all. We out.
Listen, only pod can